The Path to Enlightenment. A story of Buddhism's teachings and principles. Once in the ancient kingdom of Magadha, nestled between lush green mountains and flowing rivers, lived a young man named Ananda. He was a seeker, always curious about the meaning of life and the nature of suffering. Despite coming from a wealthy family, he often found himself dissatisfied, searching for something beyond material wealth. One day he heard of a great teacher, the Buddha, who had attained enlightenment and taught the path to true peace. Intrigued, Ananda left his home and journeyed to the monastery where the Buddha and his disciples lived. Upon reaching the monastery, he bowed before the Buddha and said, "Master, I have wealth, family, and everything a man could desire, yet my heart is restless. I wish to learn from you." The Buddha smiled and replied, "Ananda, true peace does not come from external possessions, but from understanding the nature of the mind and life itself. Let me teach you the principles of the Dharma." 1. The Four Noble Truths. The Buddha began, "First, you must understand that suffering, dukkha, is a part of life. Birth, aging, sickness, and death bring pain. This suffering arises due to desire and attachment. We crave pleasure, avoid pain, and cling to what is impermanent. But there is a way out. By letting go of attachments and following the Noble Eightfold Path, one can free oneself from suffering." Ananda reflected on this. He realized how often he had sought happiness in fleeting pleasures, never truly satisfied. The Noble Eightfold Path. The Buddha continued, "To end suffering, you must follow the Eightfold Path. 1. Right view. See the world as it truly is, with wisdom and understanding. 2. Right intention. Have pure thoughts, free from greed, hatred, and delusion. 3. Right speech. Speak truthfully and kindly. 4. Right action. Act with compassion and integrity. 5. Right livelihood. Earn a living in a way that does not harm others. 6. Right effort. Cultivate positive thoughts and abandon negative ones. 7. Right mindfulness. Be aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. 8. Right concentration. Meditate to develop a calm and focused mind." Ananda listened carefully. He realized that his discontent came from chasing desires without mindfulness. He decided to follow this path with sincerity. 3rd. Impermanence, anicca, no self, anatta, and compassion, karuna. Over the months, Ananda meditated and observed the impermanence of life. He watched the seasons change, rivers flow, and people grow old. He understood that nothing remains forever, not even his own thoughts and emotions. One day he asked the Buddha, "Master, who am I truly?" The Buddha replied, "There is no permanent self, only a collection of changing elements, body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Clinging to the idea of a fixed self leads to suffering." Ananda meditated on this deeply and felt his ego dissolving. He became more compassionate, realizing that all beings suffer due to their attachments. He started helping others, offering kindness without expecting anything in return. The Middle Way. One day, Ananda encountered a wealthy merchant and an ascetic who fasted for weeks. The two argued about which life was superior, luxury or extreme self-denial. Ananda recalled the Buddha's teaching of the middle way and said, "Neither extreme leads to true wisdom. Avoid indulgence and self-torture. Walk the balanced path of moderation." Hearing this, both men were moved and decided to visit the Buddha themselves. 5. Attaining inner peace. Years passed, and Ananda became a wise disciple. He had transformed from a restless seeker into a peaceful monk. One day, as he meditated under a tree, he felt a deep sense of serenity. He no longer chased fleeting joys nor feared losses. He had learned to be present, accepting life as it was. The Buddha smiled and said, "You have walked the path well, Ananda. True wisdom is not found in books or wealth, but in the stillness of the heart and the kindness we show to others. Ananda bowed, realizing that the greatest treasure was not gold, but the peace of an awakened mind. The end. This story reflects key Buddhist teachings: the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, impermanence, no self, compassion, and the middle way. It shows that true peace comes not from external success, but from understanding the mind and living with wisdom and kindness.